Okay, hey everyone, thanks for joining me today. So I'm going to be speaking to you about how to build a low-code, no-code back office application for OrderCloud. I should have taken a note out of Liz's presentation yesterday and changed it to a working title, because I don't really have time to show you how to build a back office application with the time that I've got. My name is Neil Killen. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a technical director at Valtech. I have over 10 years experience with Sitecore. I'm a 5-time MVP from 2018 to 2023. I also help lead our Sitecore Craft Circle at Valtech. It's a community of over 500 Sitecore enthusiasts. And I'm located in Atlanta. I actually grew up, though, about 2 hours north from here. So I'm actually from Ireland, Northern Ireland. Pillars of a modern e-commerce site. I've taken this from Sitecore's website. So it's flexibility. We've seen a transition to have a successful e-commerce business. You need a great product, you need some smart people, and you need a vision, right? And you need the right technology stack to help support that. We've recently seen a transition from the all-in-one monolithic platform to a more composable stack. These modern platforms provide flexibility. This allows development teams to easily release new features quickly. They also integrate with other platforms. They can either support integrations today or whatever integrations you need in the future. They also provide omni-channel support. There's been an explosion in the amount of omni-channels that e-commerce platforms need to be able to support, whether it's in-store or online, in-store and deliver at home, or purchase online. But the experience needs to be the same across all those channels. And they're highly customizable as well. No two businesses are the same. And so when you're stuck in a monolithic platform, you're kind of stuck with what it can deliver. And it's very difficult to customize, whereas these headless commerce platforms are highly customizable. And they need to be able to scale as well. As the business grows, we need to be able to scale quickly and easily so there's no degradation in performance as the traffic increases. I'm having some issues with this clicker. So OrderCloud is a SaaS commerce platform. It's capable of handling complex B2B, B2C, and B2X commerce scenarios. It's headless, it's built on a RESTful API, and you can build what you need. So we've got all these tools that help us to build, and we have customer experiences, but these are things that you need to build. They don't come out of the box. So when you're trying to explain this or show it to a potential customer, it can be a bit of a challenge when you're in that pitch because there's not a lot for them to see unless you actually build it. But thankfully, we have some starter applications, some sample applications that have been built since Sitecore first acquired OrderCloud, which helps tell that story. Yesterday, if you're in Klaus's talk, he talked a lot about some of the complex retail journeys. I lost count of how many there were, but it was really interesting just to see and how complex it can be to implement an e-commerce solution, and how those various journeys that you need to be able to support really influences how you approach OrderCloud and how you use the entities and the various XP fields that are available to extend OrderCloud and how the entities interact with one another. So you're never going to really be able to build something that can be used across all your e-commerce. So even though we have some sample sites that we can use, or even an example seller application, it's not going to relate to the customer's exact requirements until you actually go and build it. Klaus said yesterday, thinking about all the scenarios drives the operational approach to e-commerce. So you really need to understand what those various operational approaches are before you start to build what it is the customer needs. So like I said, so you need to build it. It doesn't come out of the box. Switch to this would be better. Okay, so we've got the interactive console, and that's really the first interface that you get out of the box, the only interface that you get out of the box with OrderCloud. and allows you to see what data exists within OrderCloud. Somebody within the community explained it as Postman on steroids. But if you, that's kind of funny, but if you show this during a pitch to a client of C-level executives, it's not really going to end well for you probably, especially if you start talking about steroids. We also have the Play Summit, which is a customer buyer interface. The demo team created this, and it's really quick and easy to create this demo, which helps tell the story of the various composable products that are available in Sitecore. We also have the Head Start React admin, which is a custom seller interface. It's open source. It's built on the OrderCloud JavaScript SDK. It's not production ready, right? It's just as an example of what you can actually do on top of the OrderCloud JavaScript SDK. And it allows you to manage the client data and products, prices, catalogs, promotions, buyers, user groups, and security. So whatever you need, you can build it, right? But you need to have the budget, you need the developers, and you need the time to build it. And with these constraints, a lot of companies end up with a backlog of tech transformation projects. And with the onset of the pandemic, most companies, they really needed to accelerate these initiatives. They needed to get them built quickly. But they discovered that there's a real lack in skilled people, skilled developers that would help them do that. So they started looking at alternatives. And those alternatives were low-code, no-code platforms. According to Gartner, 70% of applications developed by organizations will use low-code or no-code technologies by 2025, up from 25% in 2020. And there's been a huge increase in the number of platforms that are available. They're either new low-code, no-code platforms or existing platforms like Sitecore are adding new or low-code, no-code functionalities. We heard yesterday, we saw a demo from Peter with using Sitecore Connect, how he was able to use low code to build a connection and integrate his data with the marketing platform Send. We also heard from Killen this morning that in 10.4 they're going to be releasing a new feature that will allow you to use personalization, a no-code feature, which doesn't rely on developers to create personalization schemas, which normally before would have been a developer task. And if you've ever used Sitecore CDP Personalize and you've created a decision model, you're using low code there. So as developers, we've kind of always had low code, no code tools that we could use ourselves to take advantage of some features without actually knowing all the detail behind the scenes. So some of the benefits of low code, no code. So it provides a democratized application delivery. So now we can have non-technical people getting involved in the delivery of applications. And that helps to reduce costs because if we don't need to use developers who are, an expensive resource, we can have other people within the business helping deliver applications. That's going to reduce some costs for the business. It's also faster time to market. A lot of these products are running in SaaS. So you can easily make feature changes and quickly see those changes deployed. Also improve some efficiencies. If you've got other people in the business helping deliver applications, that frees up some of the developers to focus on more technical and critical things that need to be worked on. So what about citizen developer versus traditional developer? Citizen developers they're folks that are not, they work outside of IT. They're people that are close to the business. They understand the business concept. So they don't have to communicate with a BA who then has to translate that to a developer. There is a danger though of them having that eureka moment of actually figuring stuff out and falling in love with development, and they then maybe end up becoming developers. I think for us as developers, like I said, we've always had low code, no code. I started off with learning COBOL, Pascal, then that moved on to Visual Basic. The first application I ever built was Microsoft Access 2.0 against the database where I could create forms and things. But it's gradually gotten better and it's going to continue to get better. But as developers, we have the opportunity to take advantage of some of those tools. So I kind of stumbled across a tool called Retool. It's used by enterprises, their engineering team. It's a low code. It's for developers. It's predominantly used for building internal applications. It supports REST API, GraphQL, SQL. But I could have chose probably any one of those other tools that were there, but I just picked this one, started playing around with it, and I was able to knock out some things pretty quickly. So I think rather than us trying to build a seller application that doesn't necessarily meet the client's requirements, we could be building quick applications to demonstrate and to show the client how their business is going to work and how the data is structured within OrderCloud. So I'm going to try and do a quick demo, just to show you how quickly you can do things. So So this is my dashboard. It looks very like the React application, very similar. I probably spent maybe a day or two just trying to understand what's available. You've got this canvas in the middle. You've got a bunch of components that you can drag and drop. As you can see, we've got products. I can manage my products. I'm talking about I was able to knock this out in hours. Promotions, modify promotions. I haven't necessarily gone to the detail that the React application has gone to on some things, but I just wanted to see how easy and quickly I could create things. So let's just show you how quickly I can maybe knock up a CRUD application for managing supplier data. So I'm going to drag and I've already gone ahead and created some queries to handle it just based on time. So I will drag a table on here. And you see, because it had get suppliers already selected, it knew that was the data. It thought ahead and like, okay, Neil's got this get suppliers. He's maybe just created, but he's got it active down here in the available resources. And it also was smart enough to infer the array of items that's being returned by that REST API from OrderCloud. So now I want to create a form to allow me to create an update. So I will just drag a form on here. And I can add components manually, or I can generate the form based off of the table. I'm just going to rename the table. And then I'm going to go ahead and generate the table. And then I can choose which fields that I want displayed in my form. I don't need to create it yet because that's generated, and active and all buyers can order. Those are checkboxes, they don't necessarily need to be required fields. And I'll create my form. And there you go, the form's created. It's automatically wired up to, you probably have this on a hidden field like I've done with the other hidden container. You can see it's automatically wired up to the table up select row. So the data source for the form is get supplier data to items. I'm going to select the primary key, which is the ID. I've got the submit button. I want to wire it up to I've got a create or update supplier, which is a put method. OrderCloud. So let me just select that. Change it to the default button. I'm going to add an event handler to call my create or update supplier method. There's multiple things you can do with the button. So you can wire it up to a control query or a component, run a script. And I'm going to run a control query. I'm going to run my create or update. Again, because I've got that selected, it assumed that's what I want to do. I'm also going to add another event to, after I've updated, I want to get the suppliers again. So refresh the data and then refresh the table. So do another control query. I'll call get suppliers. I'm going to trigger that. And then I also want to refresh the table I didn't demonstrate, but there's out of the table you can sort and you can do filters and things like that just out of the box. So that would build anything. I'm going to set it to 500 milliseconds just to give it some time to refresh the data. Okay, so if I can limit it to 2 by sorry, I should rename this. Okay, so if I go ahead and run that, it should update. You can see it's refreshed data. Set that to OrderCloud and it's come back. And I'm going to order the data, filter. You can also call it delete. Now I could have modified the table to do edits. I'm kind of run out of time. But you can add fields and actions to the actual rows as well. So I could add a row here to do some actions. So I will add a row action, or delete. My trash can. I'm going to add an interaction, which will be to call the delete supplier. I'm going to check the advanced. I'm going to show a message that I've added in here on this supplier method, or a little message. Are you sure you want to delete and the row has been selected? Are you sure you want to delete the supplier? Right. Let's go ahead and delete the I'm out of time. So I'll just wrap up. Let's switch back to So the last slide was thanks to all the sponsors.